Agent Core Realty, and I'm here today with Chelsey Hall, one of the owners of Modern Grub. Thank you for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to start off with you just telling me what would be the best way to describe Modern Grub, and how did you guys get started?
So we are Bakersfield's only clean meal prep company, gluten-free bakery, delivery service, and we cater as well. I always forget to add that in there. But we started back in 2014. Originally, we were just really into working out. I have to be honest, we were busy moms.
Yeah.
Had 2 little ones at home. I was working full-time in the grocery business, and it was either I had time to go to the gym or I had time to cook. I couldn't figure out how to handle both.
Yes.
So we started meal prepping, and our friends and family just asked us to start meal prepping for them as well, and that's kind of how it started, and it just snowballed from there.
That's really amazing because I'm a working mom. I have a 13-month-old, and finding time to work out alone.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard.
It really is.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of support for moms, especially in the very beginning for that. So it started as just a collective group of moms just figuring this out, and here we are 8 years later, and it's transitioned and changed quite a bit since then. Essentially, we are a meal prep grocery store now. We're open 7 days a week. Still, we do a lot of at-home deliveries. We do a lot of business deliveries. We're feeding the police department, nursing homes. So yeah, it's grown quite a bit, but it's still the core values. It's still our family that's working the business, which is the nice part. I have my sister who's like my right-hand man. She does everything for me, and my mom's in there baking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really fun. It's really cool. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Don't downplay it. I mean, meal prepping in itself is a lot of work, but when you're cooking up to 2,000 meals a week, it's the logistics behind it. So it's a little crazy.
Yeah, that is a lot of work, but you're feeding a need that people need.
Yes.
You've come up with a solution for moms and families, and even you're doing such a great job with feeding the police and nurses.
Yeah,
those are busy people.
So besides that, and we originally got into this to feed families, but it's because we're gluten-free, grain-free, dairy-free, and soy-free, we eliminate anything that causes inflammation in the body. So there's a whole nother market out there that we weren't expecting, and that was feeding people who are sick. So we feed cancer patients, we have celiac, autoimmune disorders, people who have life-threatening food allergies, and the list goes on. And a lot of places don't want to mess with food allergies. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of research. 2, you have to be extremely organized because people's lives are in your hands.
Yes.
So at first it was really scary, but we've been doing it for so long now, and this is the only place they can go to eat. So it's extremely rewarding. I mean, the amount of work was like, is this worth it? But the reward, it makes it worth it.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm highly intolerant to gluten, but like the amount of people that don't know what gluten is, they think it's cheese, they think it's like something else. I went to an ice cream place the other day, and like, because I can have cross-contamination because I'm not celiac, but that's why your kitchen is so great. You're
still going to have inflammation from it. Yeah, so you have to watch the amount of gluten that you intake. The load matters.
Exactly. But I went to an ice cream shop, and they said, oh, none of it's gluten-free, because they didn't know that their ice cream was actually...
It's a liability.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, why aren't you training your staff to understand what that is and means?
Well, we have learned if it's not in your immediate family or a close friend, why would you know?
Yeah,
why would you take the time to research it? So my sister, who's with me all the time, she has an autoimmune disorder.
Okay.
And then our bookkeeper, Marcy, that's in there, she has celiac. And then Alana, who you just saw walk up, she also is celiac. She has gluten intolerance and dairy. I mean, so the list goes on. So it's funny, a lot of the people that have come to work here, they came to work here because they have issues and they wanted to learn more.
Yeah, and they want to believe in your mission. They already are part of it, so they're so excited.
Yeah, and so that kind of helps with turnover.
Yeah, and we were kind of talking about this before, but how has the pandemic evolved and changed your business?
Well, at first it was terrifying, I have to be honest. I sat there for a minute and I thought, how are we going to get through this? I mean, because you saw so many restaurants having to convert from a dining setting to a takeout. And when your business plan was written for the dine-in, it's really hard to convert essentially overnight. We were very fortunate in the sense that we never did dine in. It was already set up for takeout. So when everybody else was suffering and we were pulling and cheering on for them, we were getting slammed. And that was another challenge in itself, is how do we handle this increase in orders. But the pandemic, it was actually a good thing for our business, and I feel terrible saying that because so many people suffered. Well, we didn't plan for it.
Yeah.
And there was no guarantee that we could handle it. We're still here, we're doing it, but you have new challenges now where there's shortages of supplies.
Yes.
So, I mean, every week it's a new challenge, but you just have to be willing to push through it.
Yeah, and I think it's important to celebrate your wins and like the community to rally around the people who are.
Yeah.
Because the people who haven't been able to, like, it's been such a sad thing, the pandemic.
It's been terrible.
Yeah, so who gets the win? It's so glad. I'm like so happy to hear that it has been prosperous for you.
Yeah, sometimes we're careful about saying it though. It's always like you don't want to sound like you're boasting or bragging, and every time someone orders, you're still excited, no matter pandemic or not. But to be able to be successful in this time, it feels really good. It's still scary.
You sound really humbled by it and grateful.
We really try. It wasn't in the plan, you know. It wasn't, when we first started, it was only an at-home delivery service. That's all it was. We delivered twice a week. The doors were locked. I mean, we didn't even let walk-in traffic come in. But as people discovered who we were, the traffic started coming.
That's great.
So we had to change the plan, you know, but it's been good.
Well, that makes me so happy for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, yeah.
And so with that change, how do you see your own business growing in the next year?
From here on out? Well, we've outgrown our little 1,450 square foot building, so we're kind of maxed out. I don't want to say that we'll stop taking orders because these people depend on us. We'll find a way, but we really need a bigger kitchen. So it's either find a bigger location to move the entire operation or find another small storefront, keep this as the cooking kitchen, and then transfer all the meals to a storefront property. So I've got brokers looking. We're hoping something happens this year, if not next year. Awesome. But yeah, we're excited.
That is it's a good problem to have to solve.
Yeah. I mean, it would be so much worse if we were scrambling for orders. Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful. And then being part of the community, what's important about shopping local in Bakersfield?
Oh gosh. By shopping local, you're supporting your neighbors, your friends, your families. You're keeping that revenue in your neighborhoods and in your community. I mean, we've all done it. We all order from Amazon and Walmart. It's convenient, right? But local can be convenient too, and that's what we're trying to teach people.
Yeah, that's what I want to spotlight for people, that locally owned businesses
because if you don't support them, they're going to go away. And can you imagine your hometown with no local art, no local community, no local food, no programs? I mean, it'd be sad.
And I feel like the heart of Bakersfield is based on like local.
There's
and
so many creatives here. Outside of the restaurant business, there's a lot of creatives.
There really is. It is awesome.
And they intermingle too, so it's kind of nice because you have all these farmers markets. And, you know, they're still thriving when in other small towns they're starting to fade away. So our goal is to keep that going.
Yeah, we're fortunate to have a community that finds that important.
Yeah. Nice.
And then going from there, what would you like to see Bakersfield change into in the next 5 years? What would you like to see happen here?
You know, I think we're on the right path because 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when we were in year 2 of this, we were still struggling to get people to want to eat healthy. Bakersfield wasn't known for being a healthy community.
No.
I'm being honest, it wasn't. So when we started this, people thought we were absolutely crazy. You know, and it took 3 years of educating the community to learn why it's important to eat an anti-inflammatory diet. I mean, everybody's like, what are you talking about? But they get it now, and I think that's the direction we're going. I think people are supporting local than they ever have before. So I think as long as we stay on this path, I think good things are coming. I mean, it's a fast-growing city. It really is, and there's challenges with that, but it's better diversity.
It is.
There's a lot more people willing to learn new things. I mean, the colleges are getting packed. That's a good sign.
It is
so
a good sign.
I think we're headed in the right direction.
I do too. I think the development of Bakersfield is definitely I'm seeing all positive change, and I love to see that. As someone who like,
especially since you stepped away and came back, you can really see it, because when you're in it, you don't really notice those details.
Yeah, and I stepped away and I went to Orange County and then New York City and then LA, where like the health mecca of the world. I feel like everyone's worried about what they're putting in their body.
Yeah.
But it's changed so drastically, and even like people are coming so much more open-minded to the change, and I love that. They're embracing the new, and people want to better themselves, and that's what I'm seeing happen.
We're seeing that, yes, with the younger generation, but I feel like the younger generations are already open-minded for those things. It's our elderly clients. When at first, like, you don't add salt to your food. No, we don't, because we feed a lot of high blood pressure, heart disease. If you are used to salting, we tell them it's okay. You can put a dash of salt, but you obviously down the road want to wean yourself off. And now they are becoming open-minded to those things. I feel like there was a lot of push and pull in the beginning, but the younger generation is teaching the older generation. Yeah. And that's super exciting.
It is exciting. I love your education base.
Yeah. Well, that's my passion.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time and sitting with me today. And I really love your mission and everything you're about. I'm definitely going to be coming in.
I'm going to give you some meals to take home.
Thank you. I'm excited.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.